Welcome to Poeartistry Gold, number 117. On the website today of jamespoeartistry.online, I gave another one of those video clips from a Billy Jack movie. And so I encourage you, as always, to look at some of his movies. I just found them to be very interesting over the years. Now, with that being said, this is something else I want to share with you. When you really don't have anything against someone, you may be seeing roses and stars and things of that nature in your mind, okay? And then sometimes you later find out that maybe this person didn't like you for this reason or that reason, or what have you. You know what I found, though, in those instances when it comes to resolving problems? When you talk to the person that, truly wasn't faking like they liked or care for you. I mean, you're literally talking to the person who really didn't have anything against an individual in this way or that way. In fact, they actually blindsided them, you see, uh, blindsided them that these persons didn't like them for even reasons that, guess what, you didn't do nothing to them, but it goes to show they were always looking for something to just be agitated by you, additionally from just their own type of personality quirks or sinful nature in their own hearts. And that's the reality sometimes. Well, when you talk to that individual that sincerely and integrity before God didn't have anything against, you see, these individuals that didn't like him, it's wise. It's really wise to listen to them a little bit more on what they said or think happened in this instance or that instance. Why? Because they'll most likely just give you the facts. What this is what was said, and they probably won't even know, or you will probably figure out for yourself. Then why was the other person so offended? Okay, if this is just what was said, sometimes it doesn't even matter how it was said, even though they say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But sometimes it just doesn't warrant it. Even in the scales of what's offensive or balanced or what have you, it just doesn't warrant it for these persons to still end up reacting against you so strongly in the way that they did. Okay, so keeping those thoughts in mind, the other part about those individuals who, like I said, really didn't have nothing but good intentions for this individual or that person or what have you, is, sometimes they can remember at least the environment or the climate or what have you, and they're not having on rose-colored glasses at all. It's just that it was still about, trying to get along the best that you can. And sometimes you have to yield a little bit more than what people even think is reasonable. And I know there are persons who really do disagree with that. However, if you're just trying to get something accomplished and you have to put up with someone who is really acting as a resistor against you or what have you, sometimes you still have to put up with it because you're doing your best to get something good done overall, you know. And looking back over some of these situations, there's a statement that old timers and sages, have said that this is what I'm going to leave you with. They'll tell you sometimes, well, you may not have heard it. It depends on your background. Remember, I know where you came from. Or remember, I watched you grow up. So it's not something the statement is not being made because the person is trying to put you down at all. What the person is truly saying is, sometimes depending on what that individual is doing, they're saying it to is, I truly know your mess. But unlike you, you see, unlike you, I overlooked it. I covered over it or what have you. And it seemed like in some cases, because it certainly went beyond, what some people say, oh, I just got to leave that up to God because that's between them and God. But see, some people don't leave certain things up to God, and they continue as they grow older. They get more brazen, the way that the word really ought to be used for a lot of these personalities when people beat people up in so many different ways, professionally, financially, and even spiritually. And then once some persons come to light, when they start waking up on what was done here and there or what have you, then they try to get rid of that individual that they can't no longer use. Now, with that still being said, remember, just like, let me see, there was Moses and Joshua. Yeah, Joshua was a general. But just like Joshua said sometimes, where after he mentioned how good God really was and what he did for all the people, he still basically told them, told his own people. He was saying, you can decide for yourself whether what Jehovah, because he used God's name, well, what Jehovah told you is good or not, and to follow it. But he still said, as for me and my household, he said, we shall serve Jehovah. So what does that mean? You know what? Blood isn't thicker than water. Blood isn't, or let me go ahead and say this. Blood may be thicker than water, but blood isn't thicker than spirituality and your relationship with God. So to keep on trying to tag on to somebody, to continue to even use methods that if persons really wanted to prove just how deviant what they're doing against somebody's will and the methods that they're using, you see, that's enough that's enough to show that you're not even family. You're not even loyalty with the way that you're doing that. You're just, once again, functioning as a selfish, lying criminal. And I said what I said. Yes, this was a stronger Poeartistry Gold moment on number 117. But make no mistake about it. That's the situation for some persons. And, I often talk about the persons who are older and up in years that made different decisions and this and that. And I try to even remind them sometimes, it's like, no, you know what? You didn't really make bad decisions or what have you. It was still the ones that was under you that you just didn't know that, as I said earlier, remember, I watched you grow up. Remember, I know your mess. And so the point is, still, because they just didn't know about that other side, then they went on ahead and, you just let the person save face. Well, for a lot of these persons, their personalities now are coming home to roost, so to speak. So keep standing firm, keep doing your best, and, keep doing your best work you can do. And if you have any questions, contact me, buymeacoffee.com/James Poeartistry. You may be struggling by yourself dealing with some of these bullies, but you know what? I've always said, if you look at my situation, some of you really know the whole situation. If I've been able to do what I've been able to do with God, Jehovah helping me this long, just think if I got that one person that I've been telling you about all along, like I said, some of these persons, then that may be in God's will for them to, the family get it, to get their own mess together and stop being self-righteous. Really, it ain't even self-righteous. It's just being greed and sneaky. This was a Poeartistry Gold, number 117. Take care of yourself.